Hello and welcome to Rats Chats. Today, thanks to the theory crafting of the Shadow Thief on Reddit, I will be presenting you with some information on the different ways that melee weapons can apply damage. There's a lot of misinformation going around about this, partly because of how obscure and hard to find the data is, and partly because the damage bars of the weapons in their descriptions have very little relation to their actual damage. I believe players should be able to make an informed choice about the weapon they bring, and so this video will demonstrate some of the differences between different damage models. Firstly, it should be noted that not every enemy hit by a weapon always receives damage. The two-handed hammer, for example, hits an infinite amount of targets with its heavy attack, but only damages the first 2 of them, dealing 5 and then 3.5 points of damage. This makes the hammer amazing for crowd control and keeping your team safe, but the damage output is lower than some other options. The two-handed sword does much more damage than the mace. It can hit 6 targets and deals damage to all of them. This is great for cutting through rats quickly, but the stagger it does deal to the targets it hits does not last as long. And once you start fighting more than 6 rats at once, the unstaggered ones will be able to engage you, making this weapon less effective than the hammer at protecting a team. The two-handed sword hits 6 targets. It deals 6 damage to the first target hit, 4 damage to the next 2 targets, and 3 damage to the last 3 targets. It cannot hit any more rats than this. It can't even stagger them. Some weapons have multiple attacks in a sequence, and they don't always work the same way. Cns Sword does 2 damage to the second target that it hits on the first right to left swing, but then 3 damage on the left to right swing afterwards. Karelian's strong attacks are very different to each other when using the dagger and sword. The first attack hits up to 3 targets, dealing 4 to the first, 3 to the second, and 3 to the third. But the second strong attack only does 7 damage to a single target. Light attacks have the most variance. Karelian's dagger and sword have 4 moves in the sequence. The first hits 2 targets for 3 and 2 damage, and the second hits 3 targets for 3, 2 and 2 damage. The last 2 both deal 3.5 damage each. These numbers are important to keep in mind, so that you can predict how many hits it will take to kill a rat, and which attacks in the sequence damage or stagger multiple targets, allowing you to plan ahead in battle, making informed decisions on when to block, when to light attack and when to heavy attack. A document containing the numbers for every melee weapon will be available in the description below. This has been Rats Chats. Thank you for watching, and we will be back next time with more Vermintide.